Well, I hope you can hear me now. Thank you, Batman, for letting me know. If not, I'd be talking. Wow. Appreciate it, my friend. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. I didn't know. Yeah, I'm telling. I don't know. I was saying I was running a bit late this morning. Well, not this morning. On the way back here, there was an accident on the road. There was a big traffic jam. Took me a while. I left work at 4:45, something like that. Normally it takes around 45, 50 minutes to get home. But this time it went like, I got here at 6, almost 6:30. So I just grabbed something to eat very quick. My wife cooked, and I just like came upstairs. I didn't take a shower. I just changed this shirt, my work clothes, just put a new t-shirt. I don't even change my pants. It's the same thing. And I say, hey, let's go and get the video. So sorry. Thank you for being here, Batman. But I appreciate it. Thank you. This weekend we didn't have the live video because I was Easter, of course, and we did a little bit of traveling. I went to with the family. We went to Orlando, went to Florida, and came back. So it was hectic, a little bit hectic for us. But spent a little time with the family. We needed it, and hey. Oh, thank you, the display. I'm still working on it. There's a lot of work in progress. I don't have as much space as I wanted to, but I needed to get that done at least. And I need to put lights on. It's a lot of things that I gotta do. Just to give you an idea, and maybe I make a video. This is technically almost everything done, and there's a lot of collectibles still in store, unfortunately. But that's what I have for now. I got those there. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do eventually there. I have, of course, all my gaming setups. I have this little here. I got that. So it's a lot of things that I gotta work on and utilize some of those walls. I'm trying to put some art maybe. I need to do something for action figures or whatever. So it's a lot of work, and there are a lot of still collectibles are still packed in, and there are a lot of things. But it's almost set in, so we're gonna be working on stuff. I'm gonna be working on videos. Thank you, and I'm gonna be doing more reviews. A lot of stuff that we got last year we didn't get the chance to review. Like for example, that Batman, I just unboxed it here in the house, just put it there in the display. But that came when it came around December or whatever. But I finally was able to get out of the box. Very happy with it, and I'll talk about it and that product. But there's a lot of things that I still have boxed in that they are now in store. Well, they finally added storage. They're in my garage. I have to set up a couple places where I could store everything, my boxes on everything. So, and I have tons of action figures. So many things, and I'm thinking about putting other displays around the house, but that's still kind of working on towards that project to finalize it, which is always a lot of work. But yeah, we're finally home, so we're happy, and it's good. I'm thinking that now April is ending. Now May is we're gonna start back again with more videos and live video, not only live videos, but also doing reviews and going back to some more content, pre-recorded content that I can actually make work on, and make it nice or whatever. Talking more about things, and definitely going back into the podcast. So there's a lot of things that I definitely wanted to do now, starting the year. Starting now here in this house strong. But yeah, today I want to really cover. And again, Batman, thank you, and anyone else that is here, thank you very much for being supportive of this channel. It's always appreciated. Thank you for being here with me. I want to talk about a lot of things in the collectibles world, everything that at least happened throughout the week until now. Just to give you an idea, we're going to cover today, and I'm going to try to be as specific as possible because I don't want to be here all night. But let me go to my list. We're gonna talk about I want to talk about CCS toys. If you're a fan of Gurren Lagann, if you're a fan of diecast models, there is a Gurren Lagann action figure looking very nice. We're gonna look at it today. I want to talk about Threezero. Threezero also has a retro Voltron toy edition figure. Looks amazing if you're into Voltron, if you grew up watching the cartoon. Definitely the toy was a big thing back in the day, so we're gonna look at it today. Also going to talk about Infinity Studio. Infinity Studio also not only is specializing in statues, they're also getting into action figures too, and diecast models. So they have a Gipsy Danger figure. We're going to look at it today. I want to talk about Hot Toys, of course, the releases of the most recent one, which is a Scarecrow 2.0. I'm gonna look at Asmus Toys. If you're a Lord of the Rings fan, they have a new figure for Saruman. On the statue side, I want to look very quickly at Dark Horse. They have a buzz. We talked about it last week, but on the last video. But they have a new version also available at Sideshow. We're gonna look at it today. I want to look at Kotobukiya. I want to look about a studio that I normally don't talk about. You know, like garage kits companies or unlicensed products, but some of these are really doing amazing work. So I want to talk about Thai Studio. I want to talk about Toei Animation. Also, they released a new statue for One Piece fans in collaboration with Lightyear Studio. I want to talk about Anime Mason. Here's for figures. Also, they have releases this week. Very interesting ones for fans of the Avatar: The Last Airbender, and also Yu-Gi-Oh! You're a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! Trieagles Studio, Piji Studio. We're going to look at a new studio called Fantasy Studio, which also is another licensed product, but a lot of people are talking about it. Final Fantasy 7 Remake. There's a Cloud versus Sephirot statue. Looks amazing, quarter scale. This is the former studio. Dragon Studios, another company that does, in this case, garage kits and, of course, unlicensed products. We're going to look at Pure Arts. We're going to look at Synchronized Labs, another company that also does garage kits. We're going to look at Sideshow Collectibles, of course. They have the new Cat Bane premium format figure that a lot of people were anticipating. Is finally on Predator. We're going to look at it. Hollywood Collectibles for Predator fans. Also, Prime 1 Studio released a new Predator statue. We're going to look at it today. We're going to also look about that Megan statue that a lot of people were excited for. We're going to look at it today. And ultimately, finally, I'm going to talk about JND Studios for Stellar Blade, this video game that has taken a lot of people are big fans of. They release a 1/3 scale action statues for this franchise, and they look amazing. Of course, this is from JND Studios. So definitely, we have a very interesting night. We're going to try to cover as much as we can, possibly, I think, unless things change. But I want to thank you all for being here with me tonight and being able to share this opportunity, so we can talk about collectibles. All right, so first I want to, now that I have you here, of course, I want to cover something before getting into it, because of course, I try not to discuss this subject a lot in reference to tariffs, but they're all around us, and there's a lot of conversations in reference to it, and a lot of we've been affected by it, of course, and we will be affected by it. So there's a lot of companies doing a lot of things, of course, and one of those companies, and we can see already the cracks that are happening in the system, in the toy industry, and of course the concerns about what's going to happen. But this is something here that Exo6, and this is some that they posted. The owner of Exo6 he's Chinese American. He's very well versed and understands this market. He's been producing this action figures for Star Trek fans, which is there's not many people. It's not like it's a very niche product, but it's a very quality product. I review 7 of 9 from this company. Amazing figure. I love that figure. I think it's great. But Exo6 is, as every other company, manufactures in China. So they've been affected, as we know so far. They've been put a hold to a lot of the shipments from China, from Hong Kong. That's where, you have Hot Toys, all these products come from there. So right now there's a lot of fear what's going to happen, how this is going to affect the markets because of the tariffs and the cost of it. So right here, this is an announcement done by Exo6 that was done yesterday at 1:30 p.m. A lot of people were talking about it, at least within the circles of Exo6 and the Exo6 group. They say effective May 2nd, 2025, the U.S. will enforce a new tax rule for packages from China or Hong Kong charging 120% of the declared value or 100%, whichever is higher, increasing to $200 on June 1st. While SF Express and China Post believe fees will apply after delivery, implementation details remains uncertain. Exo6 has suspended shipment to U.S. addresses as of April 20th and will not resume until carrier companies and U.S. Customs clarify procedures, ensuring it is reasonable to proceed. So this is what's happening right now, and this was an announcement that they have in social media. They had it on Instagram. They have it here, and here, for example, just another example. The mini-me's imports were anything under $800 and weren't subject to U.S. import fees. All orders placed on Exo-6's website counted at and were not taxed on entering the U.S. Starting May 2nd, 2025, small shipments that once qualify for the mini-me's will be taxed at 120%, which means that, there was a time where, it was anything under $100, because this is the thing, the Exo-6 work, being a small project or small company, they didn't get a lot of shipment stuff. What they were doing is that they were technically shipping directly from the factory. The factory was shipping you, and they came very, they come really well packaged. They were, everything comes well packaged, but it comes directly from the factory. That helps Exo-6 actually to kind of weigh down some of the costs, because you don't have to bring into a warehouse and deliver it somewhere else. It's easier that way. It's faster. It's cheaper. You get it directly from the factory. It's a lot faster to process that way. So now, of course, if they impose these tariffs, then anything even under $800, you will have to pay for tariffs which in the end can add up to the price. Starting May 2025, small shipments that once qualify for the mini-me's, which is the no tariff under that amount, will be taxed 120% of cost of $100, whichever is more, with a planned increase to $200 after June 1st. Eliminating that the mini-me's exception means effectively raising taxes on American consumers and dramatically increasing shipping times. This makes the final cost to U.S. out of reach. We do not know what will happen tomorrow, but for now, our operations will be greatly curtailed once we know what that means. We will let you all know. So this will happen back in April 11, but of course, there's been really a lot of insight on and reference to what's going on here. And of course, they send this letter, they send that email letter. I got the email, and I'm telling you, it's definitely it's hard to determine exactly what's going to happen. But right now, for the time being, until anything clarification happens, technically nothing can come from Mexico unless you're willing to pay, the price of the figure on, this case, the tariffs can pretty much add on to almost paying more, double the price of what you were paying here. So it's definitely a difficult time for these companies, and that is just the case of Exo-6. It's a company that produces, manufactures, and a very small niche of groups. And this is the thing, what I said many times before. This type of tariffs affect everyone, even big companies. But the ones that are mostly affected by this are the operations that are small, and they survive with day-to-day sales or shipments and things like this. So it affects pretty much the middleman. It affects middle-class Americans. It affects pretty much a lot of people who depend on these industries. So yeah, it's something that we need to keep an eye on. It's sad to see this, and I hope that everything... Hey, what's up, Night? How you doing, my friend? And I hope that this is arranged. I hope that we can find a solution soon. I hope that our government don't mess things up more than they already have. And that we can continue to have this, because hey, what else is, if all the companies stop shipping to the US because it's prohibited, the cost is prohibited, then where are we gonna get our stuff? This is from manufacturers, not coming here. So we're gonna be on the other side of the coin, where we're actually craving and coveting the things that are produced someplace else. And this is something that I would say happened a lot back in the day with even a lot of Boeing, back in the day when Boeing was only manufactured in the US, or it was manufactured in China, but it only has the license for the US, and only can be, the stuff was sold in the US. So there was a time I remember about 15 years ago or more, 20 years ago, where I was able to sell Boeing stuff, for a premium price to collectors in Asia, because they did have no license. There were no distributors over there. So they had to buy directly from us. So they had to pay for tariffs, for import tariffs that, and I sold things in Europe. England was probably in one of the highest. People were paying for that. In Germany, I sold stuff in Germany. I sold stuff in the Philippines. You name it. In Saudi Arabia, I sold a lot of things back in the day, a lot of stuff. And I used to make good money selling stuff, which, of course, that changed after a while. But nowadays, it seems like if this happened, now it's going to be on the other side of the coin. Now, if we want their products, we're going to be, pretty much paying top dollar trying to get people to sell things as, you know, hey, can you get this for me and ship it as friends and family or whatever. We're going to be doing all kind of stuff. There's going to be a lot of contraband going on. And it seems that if things don't change, we're going to end up in that situation, because definitely these companies are not going to manufacture in America because it's prohibited. So, you know, financially, it's undoable. So they'll sell somewhere else, and we'll have to buy from somewhere else. We're going to have to import and pay top dollar for it. It's already expensive as it is. So, yeah, all we can do is pray about it and hope that things work out for the best eventually. But this is the reality of what we're facing right now. All right, so let's move on from that moment. Let's not get more depressed with this. Let's just talk about at least the art and see what's coming up. So first, we're going to go to Sideshow Collectibles. And again, please don't forget to leave a like and to subscribe to the channel here for the first time you like what we produce. It really helps us greatly when you do it. All right, so I'm here at Sideshow. And we're going to look at the stuff that is produced at Sideshow. So, of course, as you can see, there's a lot of different statues. I'm not going to cover everything because of time. Some of this stuff, like this Kazuma, they just came out today. We might just review it next week. But I'm going with my list, really. I'm going to use my list for reference. So I want to use this first, right here. Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann Alloy, which means this is a die-cast model. I'm a big fan of Gurren Lagann. It's a show that I personally like a lot. This is $260. The pre-order time. The pre-order for this is going to release sometime between September and November. This is a very, very nice action figure. Looking at it, it does have die-cast elements. It has ABS, plastic, all of that. Beautiful, beautiful depiction of Gurren Lagann. And it's not that big of a figure. It's 9 inches tall, so it's not super huge. But it's highly, highly poseable. And I really like this one. Even has the big drill, which is great. So that comes with accessories. And a lot of different drills that you can change and do everything. It's a beautiful figure. I think the price is, yeah, it's a little bit high, but it's within the price range of these figures. It looks really nice. Love the shine of it. And definitely all the different parts where you can do. You have never watched Gurren Lagann, I recommend it. I think Gurren Lagann is a great show. I liked it, one of my favorite animes, more modern animes. But yeah, this is a fantastic figure. And if you look at CCS Toys of what they have here, we have talked about a couple of the things. As you can see, this is from Sideshow. This is the Evangelion Unit 001 final model. This is another one that is already on the waiting list. Very beautiful too. And the Massing Kaiser SKL Alloy that was sold out completely. That's another figure. But CCS Toys specializes in this type of figures. Of course, Sideshow is now carrying it, and I do recommend it. I think it's great. Beautiful, beautiful figure. All right, so next thing I want to take you to, and I'm gonna use also Sideshow as point of reference. I'm gonna take you to the next thing, which is right here. This one right here. This is, if you're a fan of Voltron, I grew up watching Voltron, one of my favorite animated series of back in the day, back in the 80s. I remember the toys. I never had the toys. I think they were really expensive back then. And my parents, sometimes, you know, they loved me and they gave me a lot of things, but not everything. You know, some kids had everything. That wasn't one in my case, but they gave me what they could. And of course, I was able to collect G.I. Joe, Masters of the Universe. I was able to collect the real Ghostbusters. But some of the more like anime stuff, it was always expensive. I remember like the Voltron stuff was a bit more on the pricey side for some reason. So I didn't get that. And there were other things, of course, lie on the road, other figures, like even was that Saint Seiya. Those were really expensive from Bandai. So we didn't get them. But hey, you know, I'm an adult now. I can afford those type of things. So yeah, $335 for this figure. This is not a huge figure. Threezero also specializes in this type of figures. Pretty much a little the same scale and size of the one we just saw now with Gurren Lagann. But this one, I like it because it's not, normally with this line, they try to modernize it a little bit. In this case, they went with the retro style. So it's only 10.6, so it's a little an inch and an inch and a half high, bigger, taller than Gurren Lagann. But this one can be unassembled, and all the lions can be separated together and comes with a lot of different parts. And also, this one has die-cast elements. So it's a beautiful depiction of this. I think it's fantastic for what it is. And you have all this, all the lions, and you got the sword and all the different weapons. It's also highly poseable. It's a beautiful, beautiful figure. And I do love the rubber. I like this line where they have other figures too. Looks really neat. It's more of a modern take, but still have those aesthetics that go back to the cartoon, the original cartoon. And it looks great, and the lions look great too. And the part that you can assemble them, all of them, that is that's a neat idea, really. You see all the lions, and then of course you can see with all the accessories. Beautiful, beautiful figure for sure. Very nice, very nice, very nice figure. And just to give you an idea what Threezero has been doing with this line, here you can see. Of course, we have to talk about a lot of the stuff they produce here in this Robodo line. And they have many, many mecha stuff. Of course, on this particular one, they have the Evangelion one. So technically, CCS Toys is kind of competing with them. But yeah, that really gives you an idea of all the different lines that they produce. And these action figures are fantastic. I have the Storm Shadow, and I have also Snake Eyes. It's still for sale. Beautiful figures. I filmed the review and never really uploaded. I need to upload it one day. Add it to the list. But here you can see all this stuff, and some of this MDLX are great, but this Robodo, like for example Robotech, the Veritech, I always one of my favorite also animes, TV shows back in the day. So yeah, this is what Threezero is doing. Fantastic production here. All right, so now let me take you to Spec Fiction. We're gonna look at the next figure. And when we come to Spec Fiction, right now of course we're talking about action figures. I want to talk about this one right here, the Pacific Rim. If you like this, which I like, Pacific Rim, Gipsy Danger. This is an action figure from Infinity Studio, where they are getting into the, into the action figure world too. Companies are doing a lot of things in order to compete. Trying to sell product, going beyond just selling statues. They're also getting into the action figure world, and I think it's a smart idea, particularly in this economy with the price of things. People still want to collect things. It's $235. It's 32 centimeters. It's the same size, around 10 inches or so. But here you can see, maybe you can see the dimensions in inches. But it's around the same as we saw right now. But here it comes with so many different little parts. Come with LED lighting. So it doesn't say it's 20 to 20. So yeah, it's around the same what we saw, 10. So a little over 11 maybe. But here you can see beautiful figure. And it does have a beautiful stand. Actually, I like the stand that they use in here for this action figure. And it's also poseable. Here, just giving you an idea from different angles. You can make this, different poses. It has a light up feature on the chest. Not sure it has light up feature on the eye, but the figure looks really neat. It has a lot of detail for sure. And he does have, of course, the switch out parts for, recreate different scenes, different weapons. The boat right there, the ship carrying there, the helmet, some other parts you can do. The sword, there's a light up feature there too, I see. So it's a great figure for sure, with a lot of detail, and you can see the different accessories that come with it. So it's interesting to see what they're doing. And this, of course, they are going to keep producing more figures. I think these others are not for sale yet, but that gives you an idea what they are doing. Infinity Studio, it's heading in that direction too, to create more of these action figures. I think there's a big fan base out there that loves mecha stuff. And I think the potential is there, and money can be made. When you look at what Infinity Studio does, as a company, they do amazing statues for sure. But they have created a lot of different things on different scales, and they have different things. But yeah, this is, and I can see that also this other Cherno Alpha is also on pre-order. So it was already on pre-order before. I didn't know until now. Looking very good. Nice detail. And what I like about it is just, of course, like the attention to detail with these figures. They look very premium. This one also, I see that it has light up features. That is good. $279. I think it's a fair price for a figure as detailed as this one. So I think that's the... Oh, right there. This is also already on the waitlist, the Crimson Typhoon. But that tells you how popular this line is. That looks really, really neat. So yeah, that gives us an idea of what they are producing. And I like the light up features there for sure. Very detailed, of course. It's an action figure, so it's not as comparable as some statues, of course, when you look in Prime 1 Studio and their statues. But the difference is, you know, you're talking about a statue with so much detail and you're paying like top dollar, thousands of dollars for it, versus an action figure you're paying hundreds of dollars. But it's still, you know, they managed to add as much detail as possible to make it look very realistic and poseable. And, you know, a lot of people love these figures to pose them, to photograph, you know, to do all sort of things, dioramas. So I think that's the beauty of these action figures. When people always talk about what's best, an action figure or statue, that is just very it's a divisive question, but at the same time it's very limited and just their own experience, a personal experience. Yeah, they look amazing. I think I collect everything. I love whatever I love. I don't care. But I think these figures are really amazing. And I see nowadays, of course, people are a lot of people are collecting. A lot of people are just enjoying this type of figures because they can come up with do photography, you know, do all these things which look amazing, and post it on Instagram, make videos, short videos for social media. I think the possibilities are there. All right, so this is what Infinity Studio had here for us. We're going to go back to Sideshow, and the reason we're going to Sideshow, so I can go to the next thing. And this also, now we're going into the action figures into the 1/6 scale. So I'm gonna go to Hot Toys. Hot Toys just released the Scarecrow 2.0. Of course, this is from the Batman, one of my favorite movies of all time, for sure, superhero movie. So of course, this is the next version, the newest version of this figure that of course sold out. $280. You know, I think the prices of Hot Toys are great. Hopefully they can continue to have this partnership where they can still sell the product and keep that price low. Because of course they're manufactured in Asia. But this figure looks amazing. The level of detail they did with this one, with the actor, the likeness. Although I will tell you, I found his hair to be a little bit on the dark side. Maybe the hair, there's something about the hair that doesn't really gel so well with me. I don't know if it's, it doesn't seem necessarily his hair. But the detail that they have with this figure is really amazing. For some reason, he looks a bit Asian to me. You know, like the way his cheekbones are. It's like his clothes. The eyes are the actor's eyes, but there's a thing with the hair and the way his mouth is, the cheekbones. He looks more like Asian for some reason. So I would say that not necessarily a fan of his portrait. At a distance with the glasses, it's fine. But up close and certain angles, he looks more Asian. Nothing wrong with Asian people. It's just, I'm just, you know, I'm referring mostly about his likeness with the actor. So yeah, that would be my only complaint. But I think everything else, it looks good. The suit looks good. With the glasses, he looks amazing. I think without the glasses, it resembles less the actor. But with the glasses, he looks more like the actor. And the hair still, I think, is off a little bit. Maybe too stiff, maybe the way, you know, it was sculpted. And it looks darker than what it actually is in real life. So I don't know. It's just maybe my opinion. But here, great detail. And that Batman, very nice. And a lot of great detail. Definitely with the mask and everything. Yeah, some angles it's okay. Some others are not so much. But yeah. With the glasses, that's the way you want to display it. I think if you're going to display it without the mask, with the glasses, I think is the way to do it. Looks better that way. I definitely love the accessories. And here you can see 3 interchangeable head sculpts with separate rolling eyeballs. Although, to be honest with you, I don't know what they did to 3. Is there a difference in the eye? Is there a difference in the skull? Okay, so it's a difference in the skull, but honestly, would you need 3? Maybe just 2. Because those with the mask, they look so similar with each other. Although there's minor differences with the position of the mouth and maybe the way the eyes, one is kind of blinking and the other one's the other. This one seems like he's blinking his eyes, more closed one eye. The other one is more open. But this is what Hot Toys has to offer for now. One thing is true is like there's a lot of things that is coming from Hot Toys. I think maybe this week. It's a lot of stuff coming also for May 4th. All that you can see everything that is coming. They have a lot of things that have been announced, and hopefully we'll get to see a lot of it going on pre-order. We'll talk about it. Definitely the Dark Mold Midas from Sideshow is coming to pre-order, so we'll keep an eye on that. All right, the next thing and the last action figure of tonight, I want to talk about this company, Asmus Toys. Now, Asmus, you know, they have produced, you know, in this case, Lord of the Rings figures. Now they're producing this one, which is the Saruman, and it looks fantastic. $395, a little bit on the pricier side, but the detail here with Asmus is great. Looking at this figure, and I will tell you, I'd rather pay these prices than go and pay what, you know, what was the other company that was doing also? Was it JND? No, that was InArt. InArt figure, definitely those are more expensive, and I'm sure someone's gonna be way more expensive. But yeah, the level of detail here is great. Comes with a nameplate. The staff looking nice too. The extra hand, so definitely the display is very nice. The likeness and the portrait, the beard, his hand, holding that, the baluster or tank, very nice. I like how they do on the deluxe versions, how they do this bases that play along with the you know, with the character. They do the same with Gandalf, but this one looks really neat, and I love that sculpt. It looks amazing. That hair, really well done. So because this one has, of course, mixed media, and I do like his, you know, his cloth. You know, you can see the material. Looks very neat. Very nice figure for sure. So yeah, Saruman looking great. It's a great addition really to this collection, which, you know, I would say Asmus, and here you can see the Palantir of Ortang. You can see that sphere looks amazing, and even the fingernails, look at that, his nails are long. Very nice attention to detail. Many pictures, very poseable. You can do a lot of things with the different hands, and with his expression you can play with so many different ways. He works so many ways. So yeah, this is a beautiful figure for sure. Just to give you an idea what Asmus has been doing. Here you can see other products from this company, some stuff that has been sold here. You see that Gollum, you see other figures. Asmus definitely does a lot of interesting things. Even that Snake Plissken, very cool. But I would say from all the figures that they produce, Arwen, we talked about her before, too, great figure. Definitely the figures they produce, that Candle of the Grey looks amazing. The figures they produce, particularly for you know, for Lord of the Rings, they look amazing. So this is what we have here on this end. So now it's time to get into the statue world. And again, I want to say thank you very much. Let me drink some water. Thank you for being here with me tonight. I appreciate it. Don't forget to leave a like. Let me know you're watching. Appreciate it. Appreciate your support very, very much. So, trying to check something here very, very quick. All right, so what we're doing now, get into the statue. First, I want to cover, let me come here. I'm coming to, I mean, still here, of course, a Sideshow, but we are going to look at this statue here from, I did talk about it, but I want to cover again. It's Joel with the hatchet. I talked about it last week. I went to the website and Dark Horse Digital, and Dark Horse Comics is selling the version with a break, which looks amazing. That is only exclusive to them. This version with the hatchet, in my opinion, is the best version. I don't know why the exclusivity they have to be with a brick. All this fine for those who like to have a very unique thing. But you can find the one with the hammer everywhere else. This is the $150. It looks better. Of course, the show just has been popular. People love it. It's a very popular show. Although there's some criticism because of the actress, the young actress. But other than that, it looks good. This is a very nice, very interesting statue. Nicely detailed, not over expensive. Price wise is great. So if you're building your collection, you love this game, you have a collection primarily that concentrates on video game franchises, definitely this is a good one to keep up. It's not super tall, but with the hatchet look great. And I love mini bus. That's something that I did not like back in the day, but mini bus have grown on me big time. And it's very, very cool. Scale size wise, for those who are interested, here's 11 inches tall. That is just to the top of that. It still has a scale. It's within, I would say, with a 1. If you look at the detail, the scale, it could be a 1/7 maybe. I'm thinking it could be a 1/8 to 1/7. 1/7 more than likely. It looks really, really neat. Now, another thing that I want to show you here, talking to statues, but going to another company that also specializes in statues, so it's smaller scale, we're gonna look at Kotobukiya. I love Kotobukiya because this company, of course, I've been supportive. I started this channel reviewing Kotobukiya stuff, following and Kotobukiya stuff. Not necessarily a big shoujo fan, but I gotta give credit to Kotobukiya for the years and its consistency with the Bishoujo line. They continue to produce amazing stuff. Now, this is another one that was anticipated. Of course, they've been doing this kind of combination between the Transformer stuff and the Bishoujo line. And this is $165, Cliffjumper. And looks neat if you are into, of course, into the Bishoujo line, which is amazing. They never run out of ideas. This is the thing. Some companies, they become gimmicky, like it feels like after a while it gets gimmicky to see what they produce. But with Kotobukiya and the Bishoujo line, it's like there's nothing out of the pretty much of the playbook. There's nothing out of the ordinary. There's nothing that they cannot do that actually doesn't make any sense, because from the moment they built this line, it was not limited to just characters, creator characters specific to one franchise, or to make a line that it just resembled these characters as they presented in media. No, it was just throwing ideas, let's make this character, this girl, in a very sexy kind of girly look, very Japanese manga anime look, and it's been sticking forever, and they have explored a lot of different franchises, from My Little Pony to so many things, and it seems like people never run out of the desire to keep collecting. So this is a cool one. Cute girl, very cutesy, of course. The symbol of the Autobots right there, that's the base. Very simple, nothing complicated. And Cliffjumper is one of my favorite characters in their universe, and also one of my favorite characters, one of my favorite toys. Cliffjumper was always one of my favorites, but also one of my favorite characters to play even in video games when he's portrayed. It's a cool character. I love him in the comics. So yeah, it's great. So this is what Kotobukiya is showing us, which is great. Now let me see if there's anything else that we can point out. Well, to be honest with you, now that I have you here, why not? Let's just get with the other products that Kotobukiya has. Well, I have you here. Of course, they have this. I don't know this character, so I'm not going to cover her. But they had Kazuma Kiryu. Of course, you are a fan of the game series Like a Dragon. Of course, what is that? Like a Dragon, it says right there. Another PVC statue. 11.4. So this is within the 1/8 inch, 1/7. PVC. This and technically where like they don't call it anymore, but it's more like an artifacts. But looks very realistic, and I'm telling you, what Kotobukiya does with their PVC stuff is always amazing. Great detail. Looks very, very neat. Very nice detail. Even on I love the, I would tell you, like the Kotobukiya, when they do their stuff, the quality of the PVC, you can sense it, you can feel it in comparison to other companies. Very nice material, has some weight to it. And most of the time, yeah, the stuff that the way it comes in the prototype is also the way you're gonna see it in the final product, which is great on that. Something that they weren't that good with the fine art statue, although they improve a lot with the newer fine art statue collection. Even the watch, man, nice attention to detail right there. Looks very, very neat. Very well done. Basic, I would think the most boring thing that would be the flatness of that street. As you can see, the asphalt or the front replicate asphalt, that's the boring part. It's just the base, but the figure itself looks really amazing. So this is what Kotobukiya has done, and we applaud him for that. Now I'm gonna take you back to a spec fiction, and the reason we come into a spec fiction is to talk about another statue. We're looking at this stuff here, but I want to take you, and this is gonna be more of a unlicensed product, but you know, right now companies are getting wild and open to share this kind of thing, so it's amazing that they're doing that. Spec Fiction is not afraid to sell this product. I do follow this. I seen it. I follow a few groups. They specialize in customs, you call them that, or very small studios. That is the reason the price is pretty fair here, because the scale is 1/6, but the dimensions, everything looks nice. This is not a licensed product, so if you're not into licensed stuff, definitely don't go for it. If you don't like that kind of thing, but if you are open to anything, I'm telling you right now, the market is exploding primarily on the you know, the garage kits and the GK studios, like with the GK studios, the garage kit studios all over Asia. They're exploring primarily. You will see that on the anime side. There's so many licensed products, but also many companies producing unlicensed products, and some of the licensed products rival the licensed products, or even are superior in quality or in the desire on the art, on the what they produce, really. So this is one example. This is the Inuyasha. It's an exclusive version. Toys Studio, again, is a studio that specializes on licensed pretty much products, but they're available here. Spec Fiction, there are a couple of different sides. I was going through that. I'm not really a big Inuyasha fan. I'm not like a super well versed with that. That's the reason you don't see a licensed product there. You don't see anything. You see a Toys Studio. But this one is huge. Look at that base, and this one, it takes more of an inspiration on the if I'm not mistaken, on the manga more than it does on the anime. But it comes with switch up portraits, and it looks amazing. The detail is amazing. There's a couple of differences. Think that sometimes what these companies do is they try not to be affected or hit by, you know, by the licensors. Sometimes they don't. The accuracy with the likeness is not 100%. They do a couple of changes, so it doesn't resemble fully something. It's not 100% what you see in the comic book or in the anime, to avoid, you know, to go around the thing and not to be, you know, penalized by it. Which is amazing how are they able to get away with it, but that's just the way the laws are in some other parts of the world. In America, you really cannot get away with it. But I will tell you this, the art here, it's amazing. And even though I'm not a big supporter of unlicensed products, it's kind of cool to see what these companies are able to accomplish, these little studios. And I've seen so many of them. I think some of them, there's a lot of stuff that they produce that I don't care about. But this one, looking at the two different portraits, look amazing. It's amazing what they can produce. And it's all impressive, really. Hey, it's cool. And something that I think that we're going to see more and more of, all these things with tariffs are happening, more people are going to go into the route of doing customs. It's even cheaper, and a lot of companies are going to just simply, you know what, we can. It's not sustainable. So a lot of companies, a lot of studios, a lot of artists are going to start selling their products just directly. And this is stuff that they already have sold, as you can see, or is in the process of being produced. It's amazing stuff, of course, within the Inuyasha line. That's what they've been sticking with, and I think the price is fair. You know, the stuff that they do is really nice. You look at Toys Studio right here, other stuff they produce here. You have this one. Some stuff sometimes, of course, something that I would say a lot of these studios, sometimes the stuff gets too busy. This one is more busier, and it's hard to see everything. There's a lot of stuff happening there, and that's something that is more in tune with it, because in reality, at the end of the day, they don't have to go through an approval process. They don't have to be approved by the licensor, so they can do whatever they want. And sometimes they do, and that could be good, but also can be bad, because sometimes you add too much or you do too much, and sometimes it becomes like a visual mess. There's so many things to look at. There's no central point. And I think so far the Inuyasha has been my favorite, and the other girl, I forgot her name, also she looks great. But that's just for reference there, what Toei Studio. All right, so here in Spec Fiction, we're gonna spend some good time here in Spec Fiction, because they're the ones really this week they really got into a lot of stuff. And I'm gonna take you to look at this right here. No, this is not the one. Let me open this, because I think I'm missing something here. Yes, we are right there. This one right here, Sanji 1/6 scale. This is produced by Toei Animation. Toei also, from time to time, we have talked about it. They also have statues, and in collaboration with Lightyear Studio, they have this Sanji 1/6 scale statue. And I'll tell you, and look at the price. Of course, you know, it's $845. This is what we're talking about, the cost of things. When you have a license, you got to pay for the license, so it's more expensive. So the same scale we saw in Inuyasha is half the cost of this, and most of the time it has to do with license. Of course, that is one other reason. Like, a lot of people are gonna opt out if they're normally paying $800. Now with tariffs, these are gonna go up in price. So you're gonna see a push for people say, well, if I'm gonna pay a tariff, which is double what we're paying now, I might as well just go for the custom pieces, and I'll end up paying the same amount, and it's still gonna be cheaper than buying in this case the licensed product, because this with tariffs, yeah, that gives you an idea. There's things that we got to keep in mind. Hopefully that doesn't pan out, but there are things that you got to keep in mind. There's $845, and normally anything that is produced and licensed by Toei and is sold directly through Toei, I'm telling you, it's going to be more expensive. Now here, this is also big, and this is super huge, and that is the same problem that happens not only with custom pieces, also with official companies. It is too big, in my opinion, and it becomes very messy. There's so much going on, and this one has a lot of interesting details, but it still find it extremely busy. Even though with the beauty of the clear resin, that I always love clear resin, but and it, you know, the sculpt is nice. You know, his sculpt. I think they couldn't just reduce some of that base. Let me make it a stole, make it on this side, and it would be perfect. I think that is the ratio that sometimes you get from companies like Sume Art is better, in my opinion, because they understand the collector. You know, not everyone has a lot of space, so you want to be able to, you know, add more stuff to your collection without running out of space just in 1, 2, 3. You know, this is gonna be a very hard to display piece. Some people have the space, but not everyone does. So yeah, that is a concern about this one. You know, I'm torn about it for sure. And still, you know, there are a couple of parts of it that are really great. All right, so I'm gonna take you now to the next company here, also in Spec Fiction. Definitely Spec Fiction is gonna give us a lot to talk about today, and we are coming to this one right here, Roronoa, Zoro. This is Anime Mason. This is a non-scale piece, but looking at the dimensions, is somewhere around 1/7 to, you know, 1/6, even 1/5. It's somewhere in between. It's 1375. That again, and this is a, you know, licensed product. Again, the big difference between unlicensed and licensed. This one is very expensive, but look at the dimensions, and again, the same thing that we have said before. It's extremely busy. It's super large dimension wise. You know, Roronoa looks amazing. Zoro looks amazing, but also the one by Sume Art that was produced, I'll tell you, not long ago, and we talk about it. Sume Zoro, this one right here. I like that Sume, and that statue. And the price, look at it's sold out, but if you can find it, look at the price. Right, what, 300 euros or so? And there've been other statues also from Sume that look amazing. So yeah, at the end, it's just a matter of opinion and what you consider. It's still amazing detail. I'm gonna say that this company, Anime Mason, did a really amazing job. A licensed product that looks really, really neat. A lot of detail, but yeah, there's a lot of it. And look at the dimensions, 80 centimeters tall, pretty tall. It's almost a meter. So yeah, it's within, I would say 1/7, even 1/8 scale. But what it really takes everything is just that huge base, which in my opinion is unnecessary. So, but yeah, that is just a matter of personal opinion. Not everyone will agree with me on this one, but yeah, look amazing, is just too big. So that's what we got there from Anime Mason. Now I'm gonna take you to another company. We're gonna go now to Sideshow's selling this as well, but I want to take you to First 4 Figures. We come into First 4 Figures so I can show you the most recent pre-orders from this company. If you are, and the first thing I want to cover here would be this. If you're a Yu-Gi-Oh fan, you can get the Yu-Gi-Oh. You can go to Sideshow, but I will recommend you to deal directly with First 4 Figures because you get extras, and also because they have specials or some editions that are only available through them. Now, if you get the regular version, which you'll find anywhere else, right here, of this Yu-Gi-Oh! Jami Jugi, it's $284 right now. They have the early bird pre-order within the next 26 days. It's the most basic one. You can see it right there. Very vex. Also, they have a flexi plan. They have a payment plan, which is always great. And very, very cool. Of course, this is made out of, if I'm not mistaken, resin or no edition size on this one. Looking, I'm sure that this is, I'm totally sure that this is made out of like polystone, or, but here you can see. Very nice, not a huge statue, but great detail. You can see it has the 13 painted resin statue. It's resin statue. Very nicely done, very nice base. I would say I love what First 4 Figures does when they do these statues. They do, they really kind of enhance the statues. They have this classic gaming look, but it's so classic without being super busy. And this is a separation between like companies like we just saw. Like they do a lot of craziness. Some of these companies, they keep it clean, and First 4 Figures is one of them. Keep it clean, but still honoring the legacy of these video games and the Yu-Gi-Oh card, thing. Like the anime, the also the manga, because I think Yu-Gi-Oh was all started as a manga, then it started into the anime, and also the card, the card game. So it's very cool, as you can see. Very simple, but really, if you're a Yu-Gi-Oh fan, then what else you need? I think the price is fair. There's a resin statue looking really, really neat from every angle. Not super tall for sure, but great detail all around. Now, just give you an idea of the next thing. Then you get the exclusive edition, only available here, and this one is $309. So it has a little. It's more like around $30 more normally. This one here will have some differences. The main difference here, again, it's a 13-inch painted resin statue, as you can see with this girl showing it to us. So Jami Jugi, so no difference there. And here on this one, the difference here, it does have the LED light-up feature that the other one doesn't have. This has a light-up feature. That is a plus in my book. Functions on the transparent yellow energy effect on the Millennium Puzzle. Yu-Gi-Oh! Jami extra interchangeable left hand holding a cartouche. I think that's what it is. So you have an extra hand, interchangeable hand, and the light-up feature. And it has a limited edition numbering base. So this is a plus. I like it. the price is only $30 more, and you get a light up feature, which I think enhances the piece. That is a great thing. Now, if you want the ultimate thing, then you get the definitive edition, which is $424. The difference would be what in reality you're paying $150 more in average, and you get this super huge base. And as you can see, that is a large base. I wouldn't say that I'm a big fan of the huge base, to be honest with you. I do like the simplicity of the other one you have to choose. However, this one, of course, has a strong light up feature in the base too. So you're gonna have light up all around. So yeah, this is for the ultimate Yu-Gi-Oh fan. The other one is fine, but you're the ultimate Yu-Gi-Oh fan, then more than likely you will like this one because it will light up like a Christmas tree in some way. Although sometimes you know how it is with these light up features, they enhance those in pictures, but not necessarily that's the light up as you can see it in person. But that gives you an idea of how strong this is going to be. How strong, how bad, that I don't know. So that is a consideration. I personally think that the exclusive version is perfect. The definitive edition is for the ultimate collector. Either way, I think First for Figures have done a really nice job with this statue, as they do. And it's really, really cool what they're doing here. Now, I want to show you the next thing. Well, we're here on First for Figures. And the next thing I want to show you here, of course, you see the Banjo-Kazooie stuff. Tootie. I love Banjo-Kazooie. We're not going to cover her today. We're not going to talk about her. I want to talk about this here, this Aang Grand Scale Bus. I love Avatar: The Last Airbender. I think it's a fantastic show. I love it. I've been watching it recently. I take my sweet time watching things and rewatching some things. So sometimes it takes me months just to go through every episode. I watch one episode here and there, but I've been watching it lately and I'm almost done. I love the Avatar. I like the show and the spirit of the show. Now, there's different versions of this. You get the grand scale, the regular version that you'll find anywhere else. If you get the early pre-order gift, of course, you don't have to, you save yourself like around $20. But just to give you an idea, here you can see how big it is. It's not that huge. I don't think that girl is like big, but it's a beautiful sculpt, and I love the base with Appa right there in the sky. It's really nice, very nice touch with the vase. Very well done for sure. $249 looks really, really neat. As you can see, nicely painted. The base has a limited edition numbering. Avatar: The Last Airbender and Grand Scale Bust painted resin statues, resin. It looks very, very neat. Very nice detail within the eyes. Very cartoon accurate, which is great. And, you know, I like the symbol, the Avatar symbol and the emblem, which is technically the emblem, not necessarily the Avatar, but of his clan. But looks really, really neat. And here you can see an idea of the back. I was gonna look in the back. Very simple, but it's well done. I think it's great. Very nice detail here for sure. Again, look at that base. I think that is a showstopper. I think that's one of the beautiful touches of it. And you see the Appa, or you know, this air bisons. You can see it. They look really, really, really neat. Now, let's say that you want to just splurge a little bit more. Do you want to go for the exclusive edition, only available? Trying to, what the heck? Okay. So the exclusive version is $269. So now you're looking at a little more pricey. Now this one, the interesting about this one, you pay a little extra, but what I like about this one is the Last Airbender comes with his staff in the back, which is a nice, really nice touch. Also, it does have a rotating base, and as you can see, the symbol there is different in comparison to the other one. It looks a little more light. I thought it was a lighter feature, but it's not. But you can rotate like a Lazy Susan around it, which is a super neat idea, I think, for bases. It's not when people, you know, you get when people who produce these things kind of really think about those things that really matter to collectors. And display options are always great, and you want to have cool things to display. And I love when the statues can rotate. If I could have here with my statues lazy Susans for each one of them, I would, because I think it's so important. You want to see every angle of that piece. I think that's the best part. So I think Aang looks great. I want to see the back. How does it look with the staff in the back? Oh, okay. So it's not really like super complicated. They just added that piece there. Hopefully it's very stable. I don't know if it's you're gonna have to assemble that there too. That'd be cool. All right, but let's say now you want the ultimate thing, and I will tell you, I love the ultimate thing. $369. I think is a really nice price. This one has everything we saw here, plus other things. And what I like, this one is more than just the bust. It does have the hands. I like the hands. And I like Momo. I like that he has Momo eating an apple. That is a very nice touch. That I will tell you, that is something, in my opinion, for the ultimate Aang Avatar fan. If you're like Avatar, you like The Last Airbender, you like Aang, then definitely this is the ultimate thing, in my opinion, to represent the guy. And here, let's see, the girl showing it. It's a beautiful depiction, definitely from Aang. And as they have done with other collections before, where they have done like they did with Darksiders, they pretty much have a bust for each character. I'm sure they're gonna have, but if this one does well, they're gonna have for other characters as well. But they started with a, high note with Aang, which is the one that probably most people are gonna want. But just to give you an idea what is in there, you get the additional sculpture of Momo perched on Aang's shoulder, perch on Aang's shoulder. Avatar The Last Airbender and Grand Scale Bust. It has a LED light up function on the Airbender symbol. So yeah, that's from the Airbender clan. So that's a light up feature there. Also, it has the rotating base. So the manual rotating base, so you can rotate it manually, but also the arm. So I think in the end, if you have to go for it, I would say this is the one that you need to go. I think this is the best time to do it, because you get the discount, $30 discount. You also can choose the flexi pay, so you can pay little by little, make 9 payments right now and get this statue. I think it's a fantastic one. If you're a fan of the Avatar, I'm telling you, this is definitely a fantastic piece to have. All right, my friends, thank you right now. Appreciate so far tonight the support. Thank you for being with me. We're not done yet, so don't fret. We'll be back. I'm gonna take my break very quick so I can walk around a little bit. But when I'm coming back, I want to cover other companies. We still have Trieagles Studio. We got Piji Studio. We got Fantasy Studio. We got Pure Arts, Synchronized Labs, Sideshow Collectibles, Hollywood Collectibles, Prime One Studio, JND Studio. So definitely we still have a good number of things ahead of us, but we'll cover them as time goes on. So my friends, thank you. I'll be right back, and stay tuned.
Have me by your side when the sun sets. Let's leave for an eternity. We'll sail across the lights beyond the sky. I'll be with you eternally. I'm an addict for your love, it keeps me high.
Tell them what your name is. Left and right, go.
juice like a snow cone. Ice in my veins and a cold flow. I'm getting cash overseas by the boatload. You wanna ride my wave? That's a no-go. Senoritas going loco. Make it bounce like a pogo. All my haters see rojo. They big mad cause they coming up short like Frodo. Activate the beast mode. I keep it hot, give your brain a heat stroke. You ain't a big shot, you some basic B-roll. The world is mine, like my name's Pacino. Hey, it's Nico, I guess I'm back. Catch me in the fast lane on the right track. And my shorty is a 10 like a dime bag. Got me feeling like a millie, check the price tag. Got the party jumping like crisscross. Got the gold chain and the wristwatch. Pull up on the scene like a big shot. EDM and hip-hop, ain't no time for piss stops. Got the party jumping like crisscross. Got the gold chain and the wristwatch. Pull up on the scene like a big shot. EDM and hip-hop, it's my style. No time for daydreams. All my brothers get money, we call it gangrene. Just another day, but our focus still on the same thing. Us against everyone else, I recommend you change teams. Who the hottest in the city? We the top two. You said your music was litty, but that is not true. Just being honest, you should really just stop, fool. Matter of fact, empty no pockets, give me that watch too. My mind is wicked, that's why I spit it so hostile. Freaky girls in the crib, it's like I live in a brothel. All I spit is Leviticus, but I'm not an apostle. My nuts hang low, long and they colossal. Black trader black, she messiah to the misfits. Run circles, run these rappers till my shit splits. You a little late to the party, baby, I been lit. If you ain't on the friend list, you better mind your business. Got the party jumping like crisscross. Got the gold chain and the wristwatch. Pull up on the scene like a big shot. EDM and hip-hop, ain't no time for piss stops. Got the party jumping like crisscross. Got the gold chain and the wristwatch. Pull up on the scene like a big shot. EDM and hip-hop, it's my style.
All right. Thank you very much for being here tonight with me. I appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. We're back. Just now it's time to get back into the next part of the next hour, and where we're going to cover now, of course, is going to the statues. Please, please, I ask you, don't forget to leave a like. Let me know you're watching this video. Leave a comments below. You can do it in the super chat if you're watching this in the future. You can leave comments. I always respond to those comments. I try to always, give. You take time to leave comments. I take my time to. I share that the same way. I'd like to pay back. I don't like to owe anything to anyone, and that also means respect. So thank you for respecting me, and also for following this channel, being supportive of it. I respect you the same way. Hey, what's up, Sin? Thanks, my friend. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. All right, let's talk about statues again. They continue on, and I'm going back to. Oh, I just went through the stairs, man. Okay, and I was just swallowing a pastry. I was like so fast. I just but thank you. All right, so we're going back to the statue. Well, to this, and I want to take you to one to a spec fiction. And I want to talk about the next company, which in this case is going to be Trieagles Studio. Trieagles Studio, we have talked about him before. This company does a lot of different things, but particularly this Nikke Goddess of Victory. They've been doing a lot of things for this particular line. This is the new statue, Helm, a quarter scale statue. Trieagles Studio does very interesting, particularly the female characters are perhaps one of the best things, and the detail that they do, it's always outstanding. I like it's a tall statue, it's a quarter scale statue, but look at that base detail. Of course, the body, of course, of this figure is amazing and has the anime look. It's not for everyone, of course. This is on the sexy side. Not everyone is going to be able to display something like that in their home without getting into trouble with their spouses. But hey, you can, by all means. They really did a nice job with it. Of course, this is a very sexy piece, even in the anime state. But I like the detail, like what you have done with the hair. Look and see the strands of the hair, and definitely, even the colors that they use here, the pearlesque color of the clothing. You can see that. I think that's sculpted. Resin looks really nice. Yeah, the base is an eye catcher. I think that's the best thing of the statue, because just like this with the figure, looks amazing. Looks like any other of this sexy looking pieces that this company's produce in Asia. Amazing paint job, very nice detail for sure. But it does have a lot of little accents and in the portrait, as you can see. But the base itself, I think that adds a lot level to that detail. Look at that. It looks like a set of stairs just coming down, and the paint job, this looks very artsy for sure. I like that base for sure. And here is a comparison to other statues in this particular collection that we have discussed before. I talk about this one right here with the flag. I talk about this other girl in pink. I didn't talk about this one here. But this one, this is the tallest as I can see. They all really look very, very interesting from this collection. This video game, I think card game too. It's a video game if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it looks great. Another great addition when you look at the reputation of Trieagles as a company. They have produced a lot of great female statues. They specialize on female statues. They do really, really nice stuff. They do other stuff, but a lot of the statues that we have covered over the years that I've been covering and doing this live videos and reviews, a lot of these female characters, I think that's where they shine. They do amazing female statues, and this is no exception. It's a very, very nice statue for sure. $645. This is the other one that Private that this I didn't talk about her. I didn't get a chance to talk about in the past. Beautiful too. Sexy for sure, because that is the concept of this video game. But yeah, cool detail. But I do like this newer one a lot more. But yeah, the paint job, those eyes, the way they do it and paint them, very cool. And I think the price is fair for what it's what it's offer in this collection for sure. So yeah, very, very cool. And this is again Trieagles Studio. Now the next thing I want to cover, I'm still here at with Spec Fiction. We're going to go to the next company, and in this case we're going to look at PG Studio. PG Studio has been known for this Amerfort series, which is technically their own creation and concepts. This is also quarter scale Fayela at $635, and this also another company that specializes in beautiful ladies, and this is another one that is super, super sexy for sure, and it's impressive with the whole base, with this girl really licking the sword. That's super, super sexy on the pretty much on the kinky side. But the detail, what I like about this, of course, is sculpted pieces. The detail they do with these sculpted pieces is really fantastic for sure. Again, this is not for everyone. This is more definitely on the sexy side, extremely sexy side. And it's not for everyone, of course. You know, it really enhances, of course, now her chest, her breasts, all of that is what it's doing. And I will not be able to display this at home. However, I can really attest, or I can really really look at that and the beauty and the art of it and the concept and the what the artist is intending here with this. Very cool. And just to give you a reference of what this company has been doing, PG Studios, besides of course the Amerfort, which is technically their big thing that they do, they have done a lot of different concepts here for sure. Yeah, a lot of these pieces we have covered here. This is pretty much what they specialize is female characters, sexy female characters. They have done some licensed ones with we have seen this stuff they had done, of course, with Mei Shiranui, which has always been popular. We have seen Koruru, we have seen the SNK license, but mainly what they have done, and they continue to do, also this statue from Samurai Shodown Yukio is amazing, but mainly what they have concentrated on and they have done, it's their own Amerfort series, and that is definitely where they continue to thrive and produce their own characters, and they really do amazing. Some of the stuff they do is also on the silicone side. Now, talking about this may have some silicone elements. Let's see here. Of course, here's all the ones that have been released. So yeah, it has actually polystone, metal, polyurethane. So yeah, it's mainly plastic stuff. It's not as there's no silicone, but it looks almost so realistic, almost as silicone. Yeah, this is strictly for men's caves. Yes, it is, my friend. I'm telling you, like like no girls allowed unless you want to be in trouble. But yeah, they're great. You know, I would have got to give them that. But yeah, this is something that the single guy can get away with, or somebody that has like just guys only. Like men cave plays. When you invite your buddies, and they to hang out, that would be the place. That's about it. But at home here with my family is like, unless I want to sleep on the. Oh, gonna sleep in the car. I'm gonna sleep in the. They're gonna send me to sleep outside in the yard. I don't know. I don't want that. So yeah, that is it's a cool statue. Definitely PG Studio. This is what they do. Now the next thing, and here again in Spec Fiction, we're gonna use Spec Fiction a lot for reference tonight, and we're gonna go to the next thing, which is this. This is another case of a company that is selling. This is Dragon Studios here, but also known as Fantasy Studio. It was Dragon Studio and Fantasy Studio are the same company. So you're going to see them in different ways. Now it's supposedly Dragon Studio was the name they used to have. Now they're Fantasy Studio, but they still here promoted as Dragon Studio. Just to give you an idea, this is the only piece that they have here. But it's the same. And this is a huge piece. It is huge. I'm going to show you a video of it. It's a quarter scale. That is why it's $2,000. And it's based, of course, in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Although this is, of course, they took some liberties, changed some things so they don't fall into the line. Oh, they're ripping, of which they are, but they can avoid some penalty, or they can avoid being going in this case the company to go after them, the licensor go after them. That is the reason why you don't see a license thing here, but they make some changes to even the clothing. But when you look at this statue, for the most part, the similitude with the characters, of course, with Cloud and Sephirot is there, and it's a huge diorama. Now, it's a worth $2,000. That is up to you. You're willing to pay that for a custom piece. But look at those wings. They are huge. The whole piece is huge. The whole detail there. And this are just the pictures that have been used for reference. I'm going to take you to Facebook in just a moment just to show you. Look at all the details what we have seen so far with this particular statue. Look at the details there with the sword. It's long sword. Only I think the experts would know the difference. They will go here and they will tell you, oh, this is missing this or this is not accurate. They'll tell you that. You know, I personally would care less. To me, when I saw this is Cloud. You know, I have to really be very, 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 you know, I have to pay so much attention to really look at the differences in everything, from the portraits to some people were talking about even the scale of the hits, you know, was different, things like that. Trying to find again, it is not a licensed product, so in some way they have to limit certain things. Here's a picture of this on a display. Look at that size on that on top of that desk. Now if we come to Facebook, I'm gonna come to Anime Statue Collectors, one of the groups that specializes in anime stuff. And here you can see, here a lot of this stuff is on license, and I will tell you, a lot of the licensed stuff, it's amazing. It rivals anything you can think of. And let me see if I can find it. A lot of this, again, unlicensed products, which have become so, they have exploded. Just at this group, for example, where there's a lot of it. Giving a reference, there's 71,000. It's bigger than some statues, like Marvel statues. They're like 20,000, and they're like, they think they're all that, or 5,000. I'm telling you, this are like the anime statues, and this is just one of many. 71,000 people. And when you're looking at this, FCF fans will notice Cloud's outfit is from a movie and Sephi is from the game remake. It will drive any fantasy fan 7 fans nuts. Thank you, Cypher, for pointing that out. You know, for me, as an outsider, you know, I play the games, but I really don't pay much attention to the games, really, like that. I'm not like a huge fan. You know, I have played the game, the remake too. I didn't even finish it yet. You know, I've been playing for years now because I never finish anything. It's hard for me to finish certain things. So yeah, I would say, yeah, like I know some people were pointing the differences. A lot of people were like, oh my God, it's impressive. But yeah, the big fan, as you mentioned, will notice the differences. One is based, as you can see, the Cloud outfits from a movie, and Sephi is from the game remake. It will drive any fans. So let's see if we can find it here. Let's see. I'm going to put Cloud... Fantasy Studio. Let me see if we can find it there. This is from Toei Animation. Might see it here. I was trying to see if we can see it. I saw a video with a guy putting it together, which I think I see. So let's do Cloud. Man, it's not coming up. Oh, because it's doing it on... No, actually there, right there. This is the video that we saw. This guy putting it together. Of course, again, here's just to give you a reference of the scale of this. Some people, if you're a hardcore fan and you want anything to be like completely accurate, then yeah, they were the ones they will not do it. But a lot of people out there, they have the dough to spend and they could care less. That is a huge piece. Yeah, and just looking at the scale, yeah, it's you know, paying attention. It is a massive statue. I don't know if they really needed that much of it. I would say even at a smaller scale would be more than enough. But yeah, when you look at it, now you mention it, yeah, he looks like he's Sephirot looking like he's, you know, that, yeah, definitely the outfit of the game. But yeah, Cloud, there was some difference in his outfit for sure. And now now that you pointed, I can see it. But the detail is impressive from this, you know, what they're doing. Now, I went back and have done some more research about this. Look at the size of that sword. And they take their sweet time to release stuff. Of course, again, look at this guy. I don't know how tall he is. He doesn't seem to be that tall. But regardless, you know, he's an average size person. Man, that is huge. That is just taking everything. We'll take everything out of, and that is perhaps the reason why they decided to do 2 different outfits. That is just so, you know, to avoid any legal issues, because of course it's not a licensed product. Still impressive. It's amazing to me that Spec Fiction is unafraid. They don't care. They're selling it like that, and they sell it for what they're asking for. It's like $2,100. Imagine the price, and well made. It just doesn't make sense. It's black and white to me. Yeah, I completely agree with you. If I was completely in it, like on the Final Fantasy, as a big fan, I would certainly will complain about it, and I think that it's totally right. Would they make any difference to the final product? That is amazing. What really is amazing to me, the reason I'm talking about, normally I don't talk about any product. I avoid talk about licensed products here on the channel for, you know, legal reasons. I can just be penalizing and promoting stuff that is not legal, and then I might be responsible for it. But I'm amazed by the art that they're doing and how bold these companies or these studios are nowadays and promoting their stuff, and how popular they're in social media. And of course, they take shortcuts and things that they do in order not to get some legal. I think it might work in China because the way they are, you know, how sometimes how loose some of the regulations are over there. But here in America, we are very, very strict when it comes about this type of thing. And, you know, even in Japan, and this is the other day, it's a Japanese license, so I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, it's impressive. That's for sure. Are they gonna be enough supporters of this? It seems that it's doing so okay, because I've seen that it's been promoted in many different stores, many different stores in Asia, and it seems that people are talking about it a lot. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it's interesting, and I wanted to point it out. All right, the next thing I want to cover, and now we're going back to licensed products. We're going to talk about the next company. In this case, it's going to be Pure Arts. And I might just go actually to Pure Arts. Let me see, because Pure Arts, sometimes if you buy directly from them, right now, they also give you some extra things. So there's this Village Mother Miranda quarter scale from Resident Evil Village, which I haven't played, by the way. So I'm not really a Resident Evil fan. However, I do support this company. I think it's a great company. It seems that Mother Miranda here, there's an exclusive edition. The exclusive edition is the one that you will buy directly from Pure Arts if you come directly to this Canadian company. The exclusive edition, the Pure exclusive edition is limited to only 150 and include a metal 6-winged unborn key available only on purearts.com and at no extra cost. So yeah, if we look at the pictures here, he does have this light up features, which are interesting. Look at that. That's an impressive piece, no doubt about it. It looks really realistic. And that's just for reference with the other statue they have produced, which is super tall. Tremendous detail. And this is something that's, and I do like the light up features that, and something that Pure Arts does great is this light up features. And the light up feature here on this one, it's very nice touch with the candles. And the eyes are so, you know, like they're looking through you. Is that the key? That's the key that is actually, if you order this, you'll get this as an exclusive only through them. I think that's what the key is. That's the key that comes just as an exclusive. If you come to Sideshow and you want to order directly through them, just for reference, let's see. Just for reference. That. I think we miss it. A couple of things here are not gonna cover. I don't see the need. Some of them already did cover. Interesting that I don't see pure arts unless there's something going on between them and Sideshow right now, which can happen. Oh, right there. No, actually, it's there. Mother Miranda. Here you can see this is the one you ordered from Sideshow. You get that. Technically, it's the same thing. It's 22 inches tall. And everything the same. It's only missing that key. That's about it. But to be honest with you, can do without the key. Unless you want to have the ultimate thing, then you go for the key. But beyond that, this part here. This one, that's key. It just comes there, and it's an accessory that you can actually display somewhere in the base, and nobody really is gonna even notice, to be honest with you. So yeah, it's just for reference. This is what they're doing in this case, pure. Now here is Spec Fiction. I want to take you to the next thing, and again, tonight I'm talking about a lot of different unlicensed products, but I'm gonna talk about another one here that I saw, and I was, oh wow, this is a beautiful piece. The Emperor's Hand. This is, of course, Synchronized Labs or Synchronized Laboratory. This is the company. This is $1,100, and this, of course, based on the Star Wars. Okay, I forgot the name of this guy. I had it in my head. This is, the comics, and of course, but look at this one. This one, of course, this is based on Star Wars, but this company's Synchronized Laboratory is doing this custom piece that, of course, now Spec Fiction is selling here. And as soon as I saw it, it's impressive. It comes with switchable portraits. It's a beautiful piece. And how much is it again? It's $1,100, of course, which is standard, I would say, for a lot of these pieces. A quarter scale. Love the detail. Beautiful depiction. Love the sculpt. The paint job on this prototype, it looks amazing. And that does have a light up feature, which is great. And that portrait is probably my favorite, but both portraits are amazing. Now, there's something about this one, and this goes into the sexy side, where actually they played she can have a naked torso, like you can see her breasts, which to me, like I read it, is like, why you would do something like this to a statue? Of course, it's a custom piece, so you can do whatever. But to me, it's like, you don't need it. They're not showing it here, to avoid any problems. Like, I guess they, why not? They're already doing it as selling something they're not supposed to. But this is such a beautiful piece for sure. Very beautiful piece. Here you can see, there's no edition size yet. It's gonna release sometime in 2026. This includes 2 portraits, LED. Top is removable. Please message us for pics without top on. So yeah, you'll be able to see her bare chest, and that is a little bit of okay. I see what you're trying to do, but to be honest with you, you didn't have to do it. But yeah, hey, why not? Some people want to do some things like this, but to me, it's like, do you really need it? I think she's beautiful as it is, but hey, some people are freaks like that. There's a lot of kinky stuff out there in our collectible world, but some things are just a little overboard. But besides that, even if they didn't mention that, I knew because I read it. But if that wasn't the case, I will still feel very enticed to get this piece because it's a beautiful piece that you can put in your Star Wars collection. No mentioning that this is definitely based on Star Wars. Again, this is just a garage kit. This is something that is unlicensed. It's a creation, and it looks really neat. They really did a nice job just at the way it is. I love both portraits. I think they're both fantastic. Very, very nice detail from them. All right, so we're moving now to the next thing in our list. And now talking about Star Wars, but now really going to the source of Star Wars, or at least from the company that has the product that is actually licensed from them. Then we're coming to Sideshow Collectibles, and we're going to talk about one of the most anticipated pieces, I think, from a lot of fans, and it's now out there, which is, as you can see, Cat Bane, a few bounties more. This is a quarter scale. It's a premium format figure. There's 2 different versions. There's the exclusive and the collector's edition. The exclusive is $880, $860. So the difference is what? Only $20. Go for the exclusive. You get this swap out arm. They didn't go too far, too complicated. They just simply did a swap out arm, which I think is fantastic because also is carrying the pistol, and that is good in my opinion. So here, let me show you. Let me talk about the art. It's something that I'll always try to do, particularly with Sideshow, because they do show that, or they give us the detail. We see that the artist here, of course, we knew that Will Harbottle was a sculptor. As always, he is phenomenal. Jorge Villar is also another sculptor. Claudio Abraham, also another sculptor. Claudio, he's from Argentina. Jorge Villar, I think he's from Cuba, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong, but I think he's lives in Argentina. I may be wrong, so my apologies. Jorge, you watch this. Rachel Rubisek, designer. Bernardo Esquivel as the painter. The Sideshow design development team involved in the process. All right, so now let's get into the pictures. And this, the exclusive version, looks amazing. I do like the exclusive too. I do like what he has his 2 revolvers. Looking really, really neat. That little robot in there, I forgot the name. Very, very cool. Very nice detail for sure. Love this sculpt. Love the look they went. That's the realistic look, the realistic take from Sideshow, but also has a little bit of more of the cartoony comic book or even anime, well, not anime in this case, animation style. So it's a combination, a perfect combination of all those things. And now looking at the smoke, the sand, of course, not the smoke, but the sand, you know, being the wind hitting the sand and the way it's flying. It's a really interesting way they did it. Here you can see the swap out arms without it and with it. Detail with this this lady, the young lady showing us the statue, looks really, really neat. Very nice paint job, definitely from Esquivel. As always, he does amazing work. The Rubisek did a really nice job too as designing this concept. I think it's a perfect concept. Beautiful from a lot of different angles. Late detail, nice paint job. The metallic looks fantastic. The boots, look at that cowboy boots, and there's dirt and dust and grime and all that, like a cowboy does. He's a bounty hunter. So yeah, looks really neat. The base is simple but really well executed, perfectly done. This is definitely one of the best statues that they have showcased so far this year. And you know, we just in April, and we're already seeing some really amazing stuff from Sideshow. But this is another beauty, and very well done. And the level of detail in that piece is amazing. And I think went back. So yeah, just for reference, I know actually we're going around. There's 42 pieces, photos, but some of them there's more repeats of the same thing. Let me see if we can get to a video. And of course, I'm going to turn off the sound for... But here you can see very nice detail. You didn't need to have a switch out portrait, and I think they did fine by not doing it. That pistol arm, I think that really a nice touch. And also, I think you can remove the pistol. Or I don't know if you can, or you have to do it, because you can see you can have the pistol in the holster, and also like you can see right there, it's in the holster, but when you remove it and you have the other hand on the other one, unless actually the pistol is removable, let me see. You can see the pistol is removable here, it's not there. But when he has his regular hand, it's like this, then the pistol is there. So I think that's what it is. Well, I may be wrong. Maybe the pistol is already there and I didn't think it was. So here you can see there's a pistol there. Pistol is there. Okay, so the extra pictures because though without, here you can see the pistol is always there on that hand. Okay, we're going through the same pictures. Okay, now he has the pistol. The hand is changed. Here you can see the holster is empty. So is that the pistol that you can change out, or the hand with the pistol, and you can actually remove the pistol and put it in the hand? That would be only My only question is that the hand, that's a hand with the pistol. So the pistol comes, I don't know, but it seems that you might be able to interchange this, or if it's just interchangeable holster, by all means, I think that would be the perfect. Trying to have a pistol in the hand, that can be a problem. So that might be a thing. But yeah, I think that you can actually insert the pistol or take it out, or just have a different holster, peg it to the statue. I think that's what they're gonna do. Looks really neat. Definitely Chris Catbin looks amazing. Of course, you know, the thing will be the price. People don't crazy about the price. The collector edition is just the basic one, doesn't have the exclusive hand. It's just the basic without. But still very amazing. But I would say the exclusive is the one to go. All right, so now let's move to the next thing. And here's still a Sideshow. I'm gonna go to the next statue. Now going into the Predator world. That Goliath Lexington, we talked about it just some time ago. There's one, of course, you have the one from Prime One Studio, but before Prime One Studio released theirs, let me see if I hear. We have this from from Hollywood Collectibles, which we haven't really heard much about it recently. It is $1,600 from this company. It was a time where Hollywood Collectibles was a thing. If you wanted like Predator alien stuff, they were the only ones producing it before Prime One got into that line. But this was it, the most realistic back then. And I gotta be honest, you know, I have great respect for, you know, for this company because of the years of the stuff they have produced. But honestly, with all due respect, I'm not really a fan of this sculpt. The sculpt seems fine. It's the whole thing that I'm not necessarily a fan of. Look at that. You know, the statue's already big it's a quarter scale. But now with that big tree and holding like that, it adds more dimension to it. A lot bigger. It says 36 inches tall. And I will tell you, there's like something about recently. I don't know if this is just a render, because they have done that before. Like giving us like more like a renders that they do digitally rather than the final piece. But it looks so lackluster in some way. Like it feels like more plasticky to me. For $1,600, I should see more. I don't know. It's just maybe the pictures are not at the quality that I was expecting. There's some detail there, but to me, this is more of a digital render. And I think Hollywood Collectors has been doing that. I gotta be honest, I'm not a fan of digital renders as they've been doing it lately. You want to see the prototype. It looks really flat. It looks like lifeless in some way, like a plastic toy, like a NECA toy. Even NECA toys does a better job. It looks like, you know, like such a big disappointment from a company that in a time was pretty much the top tier Predator statue company. I think this is just, I don't know, it's so disappointing. It's just like I feel underwhelming. Like it's just not what I envisioned of a company that at time, you know, everybody, you know, knew exactly, like you were paying top dollar for their, you know, their statues, you know, their Predator stuff, you know, when you look at Hollywood Collectibles, there was a time, and this is actually a different Hollywood Collectible. This is something that more of a Trey stuff, Force Memorabilia. So, okay, let me go back here. So there was a time where Hollywood Collectibles was a thing, right there, Hollywood Collectibles Group. You know, the stuff they've been producing over the years, and they do have an exclusive version here if you order directly from them, from Hollywood Collectibles website. Also, you get the skeleton, the bloody skeleton, and also they offer us a strictly limited edition of 150 individual numbers piece worldwide. The Stunning Predator statue would make a magnificent centerpiece. So the exclusive edition comes complete with an additional switch out head with bio helmet, an additional switch out hand holding Billy's bloodied spinal column for more display options. So that is what comes with this. As you can see, you get the extra portrait, you interchangeable head, but to me, it's like you should have it even on the regular one. Yeah, I get the bloody skeleton, you know, that I get as an exclusive, but the portrait, it should have the switch out portrait, all of them, not only the exclusive version. So honestly, this is the thing where I feel like this company has dropped the ball big time, And some of the stuff that this company used to do was always like top tier to me. And they still do a couple of things, particularly when they do like these guns and stuff, like some things like the weapons and even that RoboCop statue. And but you know, I don't know. It's just I feel like, you know, it could have been done a lot better. So I don't know. You know, you're not the only one, Sin. I am too. I just not feeling it. I feel, and the whole design, the whole concept with the tree, I get what they're trying to do, but I think Prime One Studio has been doing better jobs and really recreating scenes with their bases without really going overboard. And we're talking about Prime One Studio, that they normally go overboard with bases. And if Prime One hasn't done it that way, if this is even more overboard, it is too much. You know, I don't know. This is not necessarily a good thing in my opinion. Now, let's go now to Prime One Studio. Let's go to Prime One Studio because, honestly, this is what we need to cover here. And, of course, they got the Prisma Wing. I'm going to skip the Prisma Wing because, honestly, don't care much about it. But here you have, on the new products, the Wolf Predator. And, of course, there are different versions. There's a regular version. There's the deluxe bonus version. And there's that. This is amazing. Now, the regular version, if you come to Sideshow, for example, even Sideshow has 3 versions. They're the same piece, 3 different versions. You can see they got the regular Wolf Predator. You got the deluxe version. And then you have the deluxe version. So now we're looking on the other side. We just saw the one produced by the other company. To be honest with you, very underwhelming piece. Quarter scale. Now the Jungle Hunter could have been a lot better. The Jungle Hunter that Prime One produced was amazing. Now, of course, this is a 1/3 scale. That's a quarter scale. So we went another scale up. However, I think it looks amazing. When you look at the regular version, and of course, this is very sudden Alien versus Predator Requiem. Not one of the best movies in this franchise. Not even a top 3. Not even a top 5. But, you know, a movie within the franchise. $26.99. So it's $2,700. Of course, if you can go for the $3,000, which is the deluxe version. Now, your regular version, which is this one right here. And I'm trying to figure out what is it with Sideshow has with the Wolf Predator regular version. It's the same one. Okay. So it's just the number, the deluxe version, the standard version. I think the standard version would be... Okay. So it's just maybe the bonus. I think they have 3 different versions. Standard version. What Prime One does right now is just the regular version and the deluxe bonus version. Okay. Because right now, of course... you get the extra gift for the bonus, but then it becomes the deluxe. So we're looking at the regular version. Yeah, let's no preambles. Let's look at the pictures. When you look at the pictures, this is the way you do Predator in my book. Yeah, it's a lot more expensive, but you're paying $1,000 more. But the level of detail that Prime One has been able to give, look at that portrait. That is Predator. That is the Wolf Predator. That is how you're supposed to display him. It looks fantastic. The detail, even in the display with the title at the bottom, looks really cool. Some people may not care about it, but it looks good. Right here you can see there's 97 pictures just for the regular version. You get the swappable head parts. You get 2 portraits. You know, you already get the 2 portraits. With the other one, you only get that with the bonus or the deluxe version. On the regular version, you don't get nothing. With exclusive through the website, you get the extra portrait. Here on the regular, whether you buy it through Sideshow or anywhere, you're still gonna get that one. And then you get the swappable parts with the different weapons and hands and stuff. This is the way you do it. And also you get that little stand where you can put the portrait, which I like. It's always a neat idea when Prime One does that, when you get a little bust stand where you can have the head, the extra portrait. That is always neat in my opinion. And look at the detail there. It does have light up features, which looks amazing. This is a very impressive statue. And believe me, they have done an impressive Predator statues. The Hunter Predator, in my opinion, is the best they have done so far. But this one, the Wolf Predator, is also looking amazing. It's super impressive. The level of detail there on that base. There's a lot of pictures here, but this is the way you're supposed to do it, you know, and the ratio of the base is perfectly fine. Great detail. This is what really, if you have a, look at that, even the blades come out, you know, if you are a collector or predator, you want one that stands out the most. The one that really showcases the ferocity of this character, but also the, you know, how strong the character is, unafraid for battle. He's a hunter. He's a, you know, he's the wolf of, you know, he is the leader of the pack. That is how you do it. So this is the regular version. Now the deluxe bonus version, so we can look at what was deluxe about it. And there is of course a video. Here in the video. And we covered that, of course, when I look at this live, you know, recently. We look at the, look into the whole thing. You can watch the video, a live reaction to it. Beautiful statue for sure, with great detail. But when we look at the photos, look at this one. Bonus part is that you get, and now the bonus part, it's like you get an extra battle damage. The patron, that is called. That is I would say the bonus, cool. But that is just the bonus. So you get the regular helmet that has some battle damage, but now this one does have more battle damage. That comes as a bonus part if you order right now. And Sideshow also offers that. Because you got the deluxe. This is just not the deluxe. This is part of the deluxe, but this is the bonus part of the deluxe. And if you can see, it has more damage. It's been through battle with the aliens. And also you get this extra, you know, weapon that he has that you put on his shoulder, I think. So this is another bonus part. So you get 2 bonus parts. Cool beans. So you get those bonus parts, 2 of them. And now as the deluxe, in comparison to the other one, we're gonna look in a moment. We're gonna see every single part that comes with this. Let's see if we get there. There's 215 piece photos. I'm telling you, they want to sell this. These are the swappable parts. You can see you got 3 different portraits. Although I will tell you, 2 look very similar. But it's on the screaming side, on the screaming of the mouth. You can see one is more open and the other one is more closed, but they're still open. So you got 3. Those are regular stuff. As a bonus, you get a 4th portrait, which is with more battle damage. You also get the weapons for his shoulders. They come as swappable parts. Some of them comes as part of the bonus or the deluxe. You get more swappable parts. Look how many swappable parts, how many hands, how many weapons. You get more stuff. You get LED illumination. This is way more than what you get with the regular. You also get 2 bus, you know, stands for your 2 extra portraits. This is way more than what you get there. And even the symbol or the little thing, the tag for your you know, your piece can change between the black one to the silver one, metallic one. So it's amazing. The light of features, the detail. This is such a fantastic piece with so much detail for sure. And again, there's 200 some pieces here, photos. Every angle. This is such a piece of art. Really well done. Very in you know, when you compare this to Hollywood, and I'm not trying to put down Hollywood. I think as a company also deserves respect because, you know, they've been in business for a long time and they still produce stuff. But you know, I will say Prime One Studio really has killed it. They are the top tier Predator company right now. There's no one right now at the same level of Prime One. For sure, they know what they're doing and they're doing it really great. So this is a beautiful piece. You're more than welcome to come to the website and look at all the photos. You know, there's plenty of photos to go around. This is a stellar piece. All right, so here's still a Prime One Studio. We haven't finished with Prime One Studio. I want to cover the next thing on Prime One Studio, and this is for those fans of horror stuff. And for some reason, I haven't ever watched this film. I gotta be honest with you, I haven't. But so many people are so big fans of it, and it's this Megan statue, which she looks so creepy. But like the edition size is only 250 pieces. It's a very small edition size for this statue. This was showcases at not the most recent showcase, but the previous one. And I know a lot of fans out there love it. It's $13.99 from directly from Prime One Studio. That is a creepy doll. But looking at the pictures, she's definitely creepy. But you know, there are a lot of fans out there who love this kind of thing. It does have LED illumination in the base, if I'm not mistaken. That is a cool thing. She looks realistic in a creepy, creepy way. Those eyes are very intense. The eyes, I don't know if they light up, but they look like they very, I don't know, they might. This is part of the Platinum Master line. You know, they have all these weird names that they name things. Something that they've been doing. But yeah, you have swappable parts. You can see that machete. Yeah, she's ready to cut somebody. Very creepy girl. But yeah, I know some people are, you know, people were hoping for this one to come out. I know even on my channel, my video where I think I had a video where I have it wasn't a reaction video, but a video of when this presentation, people still leave comments. They were waiting, anticipating for this one. This one creeped me out at night. Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, well, imagine just getting up at night and looking at this girl. I'd be like, heck no. It has the same as the Chucky vibe. You know, Chucky was something. I remember I got nightmares just with thinking about Chucky. But look at that. Look at this. Did they have like a little hair or something? Look at this sculpt in even on the eyebrows, in the eyelashes. That looks very, very realistic. And the hair definitely is real. So yeah, I would say this is a creepy one. But there are definitely fans out there who love Megan. And by all means, you're more than welcome to go for it if you like. So that is what Prime One Studio showcasing with Megan. Love it. That was great. Yeah. All right, so now let's go to the final piece of tonight, and for that I want to take you to, I'm gonna go to Spec Fiction, and I might go also to some other places, and I want to cover now. And here you can see you can also order this Alien Predator from Prime One. You can order directly from Spec Fiction. Also, they have that option. I want to talk about the last two pieces here. Stellar Blade, Eve, and Tachi with drone. These are two pieces already sold out. If we go to JND Studios website, just to give you a reference of this piece, which I think looks fantastic. If I'm not mistaken, it's already sold out. There are two different versions of this. You get this one was $23.99, Eve of Stellar Blade, and then you got Eve Tachi. That's a combo. They're not sold separately. So some people were unhappy about that. But you can see you could pay directly all that stuff. You know, you can pay the shipment with them. You can all kind of things. You know, it looks amazing. They do great things, great stuff, great detail. But if you come to Spec Fiction, already this on the wait list, the special one, which is this one right here. I'm gonna look at the one that is still on pre-order. You can still get, which is this one, Eve by herself, $26.99. Again, silicone. It looks so realistic. The hair looks amazing. They have done such a fantastic job with this piece. It's a 1/3 scale. She looks really, really nice. She looks very, very beautiful. The level of detail. She's tall. Of course, she's in a very sexy pose. The base is standard JND base, as they have done. It looks really, really neat. She looks so realistic, on an unrealistic way, because you know this is a character from the video game, and you know how the dimensions or her proportions are always unrealistic. But she looks so good, and definitely you can look at the head and her body. She has more body than her head. Is very small in comparison to the body, but yeah, some people are like that. Very, very curvaceous for sure. And she's holding that sword. And a very sexy. This is the way you have to display it. And that is the purpose. And it's intended this way. The eyes look great. That hair, you know, looks so realistic. It looks like a real person for sure. Very nice detail. And I think even the clothing, I don't know if this is fully sculpted or it's actually material. I think it's fully sculpted, but they did a really nice job. Look at that. But look at the detail there. Very nice job with this piece. from there. And I'm gonna look at the also to the details there. Look at the base. Not necessarily a big fan of the base, but definitely goes with the theme of the video game. And this is images from the video game. Although I will tell you one thing, when you look at her face in the video game, the likeness is not 100% with the video game, but it has more realistic look. And there's something that JND has been doing a lot of. They're actually kind of giving their own take, giving a more realistic take on certain characters that they produce from video games or anime or manga. I think they're doing it. They stick with their realistic look for characters based on real life people, or actors and actresses or whatever. But when it comes to video games, they did the same thing with Berserk, and they're doing the same thing now with Stellar Blade, with Eve. But here you can see on the materials, one head silicone, rooted hair, glass eyes, eyelashes, one body silicone hands, both arms, back and resin body gloves, one neck choker fabric, hair tie accessory is made out of resin, and one blade, one base, all made out of resin, the rest. Okay, so you can see all those mixed parts. Now the next piece, which had a lot of people really excited, was this one, which is the same thing with Tachi, with the drone, which this one, I don't know if it was sold separately. I don't think so, but this is sold as a set. The price, you can imagine how much expensive it was. Right now, I don't even have an idea unless I come here. Oh, here you can see it's $3,199. It's around $4,000 or so we are paying for this. And this one, two separate bases. It has a drone in its own base. That girl too, Tachi looks great. Tachi or Taki, but look at this one. Very nice detail. Look at the drone. Very nice angle of this piece. And this is more of a front piece. And that sword is super, super tall. Like, you know, like the weapon that she's carrying. And also has rooted hair, silicone skin. Very, very well done piece for sure. And again, too bad that it's not sold separately. But yeah, people went for both right away. They needed to have the extra one, and that is something that I would say I'm not necessarily a fan of what JND does. That when sometimes they do this combos when they have an extra piece that you have to only way to get it is to get to the combo. I think, in my opinion, they could sell those separately too and make money out of it, and then, you know, sell as a combo, you know, to make a special discount for those who want to buy it. That would be, in my opinion, a better option. But I think they do it just to entice people to go for the more expensive one, and they want to sell that one by make one of the two pieces limited. But yeah, it's still, you know, here you can see you get the other one, you get the same thing with the other one. Again, the only thing is Tachi and also the drone. They both look amazing. This one is already on the wait list. You can always sign up for the wait list. Maybe one gets available if you are really, really interested. All right, my friends. Yeah, this was an interesting night. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Batman. Thank you, Knight, Sin, Cypher. Thank you all for taking the time to really spend time with me tonight. It's really appreciated. We cover good ground tonight, which I'm glad we are able to cover everything that is the big highlights of so far. I would say stay tuned for more stuff in the channel now that things are settling down here in the house. I still have a couple of things that are my wife is ordering, and I'm ordering some furniture to come just for, you know, space, living space and living room, things like that. But for the most part, with this bedroom, it's kind of set for now. Although I have a couple ideas, I want to do a couple things. I have this desk for a while. I love my desk, but I want to just do something, maybe a lift desk or something that I can work on. I sit at work a lot. I cannot be sitting all the time, so I'm probably gonna change this setup here and do some rearranging here. But for the time being, everything is here. Even all the stuff that is not here is already here in the house. It's in the garage. I already arranged my garage in a way where I can put all my stuff away, you know, have like really shelves where I have all my boxes and all my unopened things. And I'm gonna start working on reviews. You're gonna start seeing more reviews, and I think gonna start really in May. You're gonna see more of that. But I want to say to all of you, thank you for being here with me. Thank you for your support. Do not forget to leave a like, to leave a comment. Let me know that you're watching. If you watch this in the future, I will have the timestamps by tomorrow. So if you don't have the opportunity to watch the whole video, you can always come back and watch segments, if you're only interested in certain things, just look at the timestamps that will give you a reference of where we're talking about throughout the night. My friends, God bless, take care, and I will talk to you again. Bye bye.